So when we first started with ACI, what we're really trying to do was capture this idea of enabling applications on the infrastructure and providing visibility up and down the stack from the application all the way down to what's happening on the wire. And now we are expanding that vision to allow our customers to have the benefits of ACI no matter where they want to deploy their workloads. That's extending ACI not only across legacy networks and third-party switches, but also extending it into the cloud. So now we can get an application-centric view that's consistent across all of those environments, whether you're in the public cloud, private cloud, co-hosting, or on-prem with a full-on Nexus 9K infrastructure, or a mix of 9K and other equipment from other vendors even. And so ACI Anywhere is enabling our customers to have a consistent view of the network, no matter where they're deploying their workloads. The benefits to our customer with ACI Anywhere it's really quite simple. Our customers would like to deploy their workloads in the cloud, on-prem, in legacy, older data centers, new data centers, wherever. But they want to make that decision based upon the business needs, not make that decision based upon technical limitations. And what we're trying to do with ACI Anywhere is make sure that all of those infrastructures can be reached in a very consistent way, a consistent set of APIs, a consistent way to configure the network, a consistent way to think about security and microsegmentation. And if we can get that across all of those environments, where you deploy your workload is a business decision, not a technical constraint. When I think about ACI Anywhere, I think of it consisting of 5 components: multi-site controller, remote leaf, the ACI virtual edge, vPod, and the cloud controller. And let me explain how these all relate to one another. First of all, we have the multi-site controller. The multi-site controller, or sometimes multi-site orchestrator, is a place where we have a single pane of glass where you can configure your policy and then deploy that policy across multiple sites, or maybe stretched across multiple sites. And that's important for bringing it all together. The second component is the remote leaf. The remote leaf allows us to deploy a physical leaf that has all of the acceleration benefits and the scaling benefits of any regular leaf, but now it can be deployed in those hard to reach parts of your network that maybe for whatever reason I'm not able to upgrade part of the network into an ACI or a 9K fabric, but I want to have the reach of ACI into those environments. Or perhaps it's a very small environment. All I have is a single switch, but it's across a shared infrastructure, or maybe even a VPN. I want to be able to get into those sort of branch-like locations with my remote leaf. The third component is the AVE, or the ACI virtual edge. This is a software switch. It's the same function that we have in the physical switch, but executed in software. So now you can deploy that wherever you have a server, which of course is everywhere. And so now, again, if it's not convenient or you don't control the infrastructure, so you're not able to have one of our leaves, one of our physical leaves, whether that's a remote or the non-remote version, which is exactly the same hardware, you're able to deploy ACI into those environments or reach those hard to reach environments and get the benefits by running that exactly in the software, running that in the guest, in a guest VM. The fourth component is the vPod, and this is really virtualizing all of the other components that we have inside our fabric. And there's the proxy function and a few other functions that run inside our fabric. And this again allows our customers to deploy ACI in environments where they're not able to deploy Nexus 9K hardware. It's better overall, you're going to get better performance, more scale with the Nexus 9K, but you will get all of the other benefits of ACI, the consistency of use, the automation, all of those benefits you'll get even with this virtual pod environment. So we see this being used in environments, say you're leasing infrastructure from a cloud provider and you want to extend your ACI network into that cloud. Well, you don't control the switches, I don't control the switches, but instead you want to have a virtual deployment of ACI in that environment. And then the fifth part of this was the cloud controller. And this is, how do we take this into a cloud and use that cloud infrastructure? So it's not a bare metal in a cloud, it's actually their regular offering. And so you have access to all of the capabilities that cloud provider has. But yet from a network perspective, you have the API that we get with ACI. So you have that consistency across these environments. Which brings us back to the multi-site controller. So now I have a single point of contact where I can create my policy and then deploy it into the cloud, into the on-prem data center, or into that bare metal infrastructure that you get from a third-party provider. We can deploy ACI anywhere. And now, how you deploy your applications is going to be driven by business concerns, not by technical constraints.